And I hear G, who's this big ass white country dude, and he's like, "No, we're not fuck her. I wouldn't fuck her." And they're like, genuine, they're like, "Why wouldn't you?" And he goes, "'Cause I don't hate my dick." And that lives rent free in my head. All right, you ready?
So yeah.
All right, sound good. Camera's good.
Sound.
Yeah, we're ready to go.
All
right, and 3, 2, 1. Hey, what's good? Welcome to episode 1 of Hooligan TV. I am one of your hosts, OG Illa.
And I am the youth, as you know.
Okay, and we're here to talk our shit. Point,
Simple as that.
Point blank. Period. So I want to address the first thing is yes, we did have a previous podcast named Illogical Podcast. COVID definitely stuck its dick in that, and now we are here rebranded.
Right.
Yeah, I think I like it like this. Me and you,
Yeah.
two pals. You know what I'm saying?
Buddies.
Yeah, two buddies. Buddying up. You know what I'm saying? Doing what we do. So yeah. First thing I want to say is shout out to Prop for Mulholland Drive Vibes. She's over 25,000 views.
25K.
It's a different feeling when you're at this age, and obviously people are out here doing millions of views and da da da. Right. But I mean, fuck, we did that, man. We shot that, we edited that. She did her thing as an artist. From she said she recorded 6 different versions on different beats and shit like that. So to finally get to the point where we're like seeing the response we want from it is pretty fucking dope. So shout out her, shout out us, shout out the team HLGN-LIFE. You already know. And if you don't, fuck you. So yeah. Let's get to some of the topics today. I want to start off light. What I'm saying? Start off with something that's kind of relevant to what's going on right now. So, as you've heard, Drake the latest album. He tore his Achilles, I believe, or maybe it was his ACL.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, I think it was his Achilles.
I saw him with a cast on. I thought Pusha T caught up to him.
Yeah. Yo, that we could. I would love to see that celebrity death match though.
Oh my god.
Like, cause I think Drake would end up winning by singing like a high note and like Pusha T's head would like push something.
Just
explode. Regardless of the album and when it comes out, I'm not really pressed on that. When Drake wants to drop, he's gonna do what he does.
Drake could literally drop whatever he feels.
Yeah. And people really have the nerve to like talk shit about it. Like, come on, man. Like,
no, you don't tell Drake when to drop. Drake tells you when to drop. Like,
yeah. Like, bro, and it's more like, yo, how much music has he given us consistently for 10 years? You know what I'm saying? So that gets me to my point. More or less, is Drake the GOAT? Is he the greatest of all time when it comes to hip hop?
Yeah.
So.
I don't think anybody's had a more solid run than Drake, and the only argument that anyone's going to make eventually is Jay-Z, and I just don't think that Jay-Z has, while Jay-Z has had the longest hip-hop career and probably the most wealthy hip-hop career of anyone ever, I don't think Jay-Z's music has matched his level of notoriety in the industry through the whole entire time. Not in general. Obviously, Jay-Z has made some amazing and classic shit, but not the whole time. Drake has literally never missed a shot he's taken ever.
I think you gotta take it into like break it down, right? If you want to compare whose music's better, that's always gonna be subjective.
Right.
But we're talking about Jay has never been a consistency artist. Like as far as like, yo, I gotta drop. Like, and that's a achievement on its own, like. But I think Drake's finally getting to that stage too, where he's like, I don't have to drop all the time.
Right.
But let's talk about the last 10 years where he's literally dominated every year. And not only that, it seems like it can't get any better than this. And then it does. And then it gets bigger too.
It blows up even more next time.
Yeah, and that has to and that has to be spoken about. He's the way that he survived L's other people would not have survived. The way that he's actually done, surprising things, like when he did beat Meek in that, that little battle series they had, and then
That was highly unexpected.
highly honest. I mean, and then the way he actually used his quote unquote weaknesses into strengths, like you got body by singing, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like nobody would have thought that, and he turned it into a positive. Um, when I think about it, I'm just like, all right, the level of music has never dropped off, like the quality level of it, and then when you add that to the quantity, it's like who really is touching this guy?
No, nobody. There really is no one that has been more consistently good, but also made money in music.
Yeah, and I think that's another thing that has to be talked about. We all these artists, and I don't care what level you are, music isn't very profitable itself.
No.
You know what I'm saying? So to see somebody who's actually like, he just broke the 50 billion stream record, or like, just insane.
That's nuts.
That's nuts. And I mean, you can have an argument like, yo, he didn't have to compete against, a Mike Jackson, who, if Thriller dropped when Spotify was around, okay, we might be talking hundred of billion. You know what I'm saying? But this is what we have to compare against, and all the great rappers, all the legends are really still around.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You could say Rakim, Big Daddy Kane, some of the KRS-One aren't really active. A lot of people from Wu-Tang, but they weren't selling. Maybe Wu-Tang, exception of Wu-Tang, they weren't selling a credible amount of music anyways.
Right.
They're legendary in their own right, but we're talking about artists who
At that time though, in the 80s and 90s, hip hop music just didn't sell like that. That wasn't really what it was about back then.
Yeah, exactly. It was more like movement type stuff. Yeah.
It was more about creating communities around certain artists.
Yeah.
And that was really the main idea behind it. It didn't really become profitable until like when Biggie came around and Diddy started bringing real money into the music.
Yeah, he started bringing less about like quote unquote movement and more about personal and personality,
about getting rich and being fly and
turning it into basically monetizing it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So we're talking an era like, yo, we still have Eminems out here. We still have Jay-Z's out here. You know what I'm saying? We still have Nas and Wayne, and just so many big names. I could go on for days, but like Drake is outdoing them all. Everybody, and he's in an era where he's an older guy now. He's not 20. You know what I'm saying? Where
he's almost 40 now.
No.
Nah, hold on. This nigga got to be wait.
Nah, he's younger than us, man.
Nah, Drake is older than us.
He's 30. Nah, I think Drake is younger than or is younger than me. He might be older than you, but I don't think he's 32 yet.
Nah, cause let me think.
We gotta go to Google. I'm gonna Google it.
On one of his albums, he said he was the Conversation with Mama joint. He was like, "You're just 27. Who am I kidding? You're 27. You just being you." And I'm
you're
sure
right. He's 34.
Like, I was at least 24 when that song came out.
Yeah. He's 34 now. Okay, so that I definitely thought he was younger than that, but that's okay.
So, not almost 40, but also not young.
Yeah. But he's he's still at the top of the game, and there's been a lot of conversation as the end of Drake era. I don't see it.
If it is, I don't see it yet.
Yeah, because I'm looking at a year like 2020 where we did have some great legends drop. We had the Busta album, we had the Nas album, Royce da 5'9" dropped the incredible album. I think all of them, maybe not Busta because I think he came out later, but like I think Nas and Royce are in the Grammy nominations as well. Mm-hmm. But and it still felt quiet. I'm not saying that they didn't make any noise, but it's like, I wasn't complaining about the neighbors. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think they made no noise. I'll go ahead and say it.
Whew.
Go ahead.
Hey, they gonna kill him. They gonna kill him.
Y'all could drag me if you want to, but I mean, did they make noise? Because I heard more about Megan Thee Stallion than Nas or Busta.
Okay, so there we go. Even somebody like a Megan, he's out streaming her. He's out streaming the baby. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? We could go back to and this was maybe a year or two ago. This is a little bit dated, but A Bookie. He went his first artist to go platinum from purely streams, no sales. He's out streaming all of these guys, maybe together. You know what I'm saying? If we're being realistic,
probably put together.
So it's just like, and you could go make the argument, well, numbers don't dictate, this, but after a while they do.
It kind of does.
Yeah. After a while they do. Yeah. Like
if eventually you got to start looking at the
numbers. Because I like to put a little asterisk beside Eminem's numbers because. Let's just be honest. White people are carrying Eminem.
Sales numbers. I would say put an asterisk next to the sales numbers. Stream numbers. I'll never take stream numbers away because stream numbers are a direct representation of our people listening to you right now.
Okay.
Sales numbers are different because all that means is that I bought your album. I could have bought your album and threw it out the fucking window. You still got an album sale. You know what I'm saying? Like
that's a good point. That's a good point.
And I think that I have to put an asterisk next to Eminem's album sales because as long as white people love Eminem, he's going to sell 1 million records.
Yeah, and we gotta also be realistic too. When we do a lot of our research, we're in a bunch of meetings all the time about the music industry. 16 to 19-year-old girls dictate the hip hop industry. They're the most active listeners and purchasers of hip hop music. Right. So, it makes sense that they might go for somebody that looks like Eminem. You know what I'm saying? Like, which looks like them. You know what I'm saying? So, that's always been but I'll never negate the success that Eminem has. He's had a long-lasting impact on the industry, regardless if you like him anymore or not. You know what I'm saying? But, we got, going back to the convo, it's like, where is Drake being topped? His production, excellent. Always top-notch. Flow, flawless. For years, he's been flawless. And then the actual impact of the music is phenomenal. Yeah. I mean, like it's really unbeatable when you think about it.
I don't think anyone's had a larger impact. I think that at this point Drake can really be put into his own. He can really be notched into his own side of the Mount Rushmore hip hop as having the largest impact consistently out of any artist ever.
See, I will still maybe even debate that because I think that the way that Wayne impacted the game has gone on a lot. I don't want to say a lot further, but like you.
Wayne has a large impact on the artists themselves.
Okay.
Like what kind of artists are starting to come out now.
Okay.
The kids that were 10 years old in 2008.
Yeah.
And now they're, what I'm saying, now they're 20 and they're 18, 19, 20.
Okay.
So now they grew up on Lil Wayne. That was who was popping when they were in middle school.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So they grew up on Wayne.
So maybe like artist imitation wise, right. Wayne is the most imitated, but
Wayne is the most copied artist ever, I think. I've never seen more people come from one person ever.
Imagine Wayne was paying child support for the rappers he birthed.
He wouldn't have no money.
It makes sense why he sold a catalog.
Right, he wouldn't have no fucking money. All of them are Wayne's, but I think that the impact on the industry that Drake has is larger than anybody else. And because even Jay-Z, when he drops, it used to feel like maybe the world stopped a little bit when Jay-Z dropped. But it feels different when Drake does it.
Yeah, I agree. I think that Drake has definitely done something. And the crazy part, what goes a little bit further than just the when we say industry, is like labels are shook by Drake.
Yeah.
And there's lots of conversations about because obviously the independent artist conversation has been prominent for years now. So there's a lot of conversation that if somebody like Drake, and he's the one that always gets brought up, goes independent, then the whole industry's wrong.
He could collapse the whole thing.
And that's scary. That's scary for a lot of people who have literally made a career out of blood sucking.
Imagine the families. A lot of these labels were started by people who are dead now. These are people's kids now who are just taking over a multi-billion-dollar company.
Yeah.
Imagine how they feel right now. These motherfuckers ain't never worked in their life ever.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They've been living this life for a long time, for generations, and now it's could this guy destroy everything we built? See,
and I feel that way because about what Prince did when he kind of left being a signed artist and went to his own platform and sold music directly to his fans. But I think he was in an era where you really had to go search for that. Whereas Drake, he's got IG, he's got Twitter, and if he doesn't have that, I will go look on OVO's website. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Right. You'll go find
like if he does it, if he just quit social media too, or whatever, I'll go wherever it is. And that, I think now with internet, the way that the industry's built up, I think a lot of people would.
Yeah, I think that he would literally change the face of the music industry. Not even just hip hop. I think he has the power now, the buying power to literally just change the entire scene. And that was an interesting point you made about Prince also. Because Michael Jackson was also on the same shit.
Yeah.
Michael Jackson
bought
part of Sony.
Yeah, that's what I said. Didn't he own half of Sony after it was all said and done?
Yeah, he ended up like buying his own label, which was Sony. Sony is a gigantic company.
Well, I know that Michael is a special savage because he had the beef with Paul McCartney, and they ended up buying the Beatles catalog, owned all their publishing. Vicious. And then I heard he did the same thing to Eminem.
He did. Eminem was making fun of him, so he bought his music.
Yo.
Like, that's what happens when you're rich, bro. Like, you talking shit?
It's not even just rich though. It's a different type of power when you can like, yo, I don't care what you did with your life. I own it now, buddy. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy. You know what I'm saying? So,
I'm going to buy the songs you made fun of me on, and now every time someone listens to it, I will get paid.
Yeah. Yo, you know how unfair that is?
Yo, your fans are paying me while they're laughing at me.
Yeah, while they're laughing at me. And the fact is, it's like, yo, Mike is in an untouchable conversation. So, Drake is finally getting to that untouchable conversation where, and there's 4 people I put in the Mount Rushmore, and I don't include them in top 10 conversations anymore. Jay-Z, Wayne, Kanye, and Drake. All 4 of them, it's like, yo, just pick 10 other people. Because duh. You know what I'm saying? Like, duh. Right, they're there. You know what I'm saying? Proof of concept is there. Sales are there. Everything is there. Impact.
Income.
And then you talk about is there impact outside of music as well. And then you're like, you get to a whole different conversation. So, that's where I have that real big debate about, like, they don't even need to be in top 10 conversations. Top 10 conversations are people who might enter this realm one day. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm not saying there's other people that aren't there or could be qualified, but those people just kind of sit even above the Andres and the Method Mans and the people who have like had these long standing solid ass careers.
I think people really get confused, like, because you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
But I think people get confused with like somebody who's talented and then a person that is truly great.
Yeah.
And there's a difference.
Yeah. I agree.
There are millions and millions of talented people.
I just had this convo with my barber today. See, I got lined up, you know what I'm saying? But but no, it's like we're talking about Philadelphia 76ers right now. They're a good team. Maybe top 5 team. But they're not winners.
Right.
And there's a difference between being the champion and then being a good team. Like, kudos. I'm glad, there's, be good. You know what I'm saying? But somebody got to be second.
Right.
Somebody got to be third and, trickling down. There can only be like a real, some real top dogs. You know what I'm saying?
They only give out 1 trophy a year, bro.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? and for 10 years, with maybe a couple years in between, maybe Kendrick having these really big moments for himself, with his albums and stuff like that, Drake's really been the top. He's been the MVP every year. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Kendrick is no doubt talented. He might even be one of the most talented in the game right now.
Yeah.
I think he makes excellent content. I think his fan base, he understands who listens to his music.
Yes.
And he knows what they want and what they need, and he gives it to them. He gives the people what they want, which is what we all supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
But I don't think Kendrick has the impact that Drake has, regardless of what anyone says. He might be more talented than Drake. He might write his own songs, but at the end of the day,
which is still all subjective.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
But Kendrick don't change the game when he drops. He makes an impact in his circle. You know what I'm saying? Like when he drops, everybody's excited.
So do you think that partially that is because for lack of a better term, he's in the black culture and that's not spilling over as much to pop culture?
Yeah, I think that Drake is way more of a pop artist than any other like anybody else that we've mentioned, and I think that's obviously plays a huge role in why he's so successful and why he's so impactful, because when he hits the ground, he's waving through multiple people.
Okay.
He's going through different countries. He's going through different genres of music.
Absolutely.
He got a Jamaican record, a pop record, a hip hop record, a street record. It's all in the same album.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And somehow it's still cohesive.
And it still goes together. He's one of the only
insane.
people that can really do that.
Yeah.
Nobody else really could do that. Like it's hard for someone to put an album together that sounds like it goes together and it's so different from one song to the next.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's something. That's one of the things that Drake has under his belt that I think causes him to skyrocket over everybody else is just that impact.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people are going back and retracting a lot of statements they had about albums they necessarily didn't like about Drake. You know what I'm saying? Which is funny to see that happen in real time. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, looking back at views, it wasn't as bad as I thought, and
that's the thing about Drake's albums is that it's almost all singles. So eventually you're gonna hear this album, and eventually you're going to like it. Yeah, like it's just a matter of time. It's not if you like Drake's album; it's when are you gonna like Drake's album?
Because Nothing Was the Same was. I told you about that. That's kind of when that changed my expectations on people and their music. Is like Nothing Was the Same was like. I expected something because I had heard Take Care too, obviously before then. And I was like, oh, I need Take Care Part 2. And he gave me something completely different, and it didn't sound like anything that's out right now. And I at first I was like, man, this album's trash. Months later, I listened to it. I'm like, no, my opinion was trash.
Yeah. I'm trash.
I'm trash, and I need to reevaluate everything. And
what the fuck?
And what it is like, yo, stop expecting things from artists because you don't even know where they're at. Like physically, you don't know where they're at, let alone mentally know where they're at. You know what I'm saying? So it's like. That plays a big part into it. So, so are we in agreement that Drake is the GOAT?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, it was hard for me. I admit I'm a Wayne stan, and it was hard for me to finally come to terms with like, yo, Wayne is not the GOAT anymore. You know what I'm saying? He's been goated. And but he still get just like Jay gets GOAT credits for Kanye, like Wayne gets credits. You birthed possibly the biggest star we've seen in our lifetime.
You gave us two of the biggest stars.
Yeah, two of the biggest stars.
Nicki Minaj too, and regardless of how I feel about her right now, she's undeniable.
While he was himself at the top of the world.
Yeah, we're talking 2010 when Wayne was still that nigga. Like, he was really that dude still.
We and what's crazy was that Wayne had his own game plan, and then he kind of gave it to Drake, but Drake made it his own way. Whereas like I can't imagine how much money Wayne's making if all those mixtapes are monetized. Right. We're talking. We might even be having a whole nother conversation right now if that's going on. Right. So, but Drake did a lot with what Wayne did, staying consistent, dropping when he wanted. You know what I'm saying, and making that impact. But he monetized everything.
And the features.
Yeah, and the features, and and it's to the point again, like where when Wayne would do a song with somebody. I never forget. It was it was around 2007. Can't remember what track it was right this second. But Wayne did a remix on it, and the radio stopped playing the other half of the song. And that was in 2007. But it was actually later on in his career. It was when he did Hustle Hard remix. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I stopped hearing. All I would hear is the hook and then Wayne's verse, and then they would just run and that was possibly one of the biggest songs on the planet at the time before Wayne got on it, and then it's now a Wayne track.
And that's that Drake's style of like Drake's strategy for features is copy and paste from Wayne, and it works for him. And
it works,
But to Drake's credit, it obviously can't be done by everybody because Nicki Minaj, same camp, same money, same mentor, did not have the same feature impact. So there has to be something about Drake and Wayne.
She did for a little while.
Only at the very beginning, and it was because she was new. Drake gets on your song, Wayne gets on your song. That's their song.
Because I'll go back to my point about that, which is the Monster feature, by Nicki, the only female to ever, really be mentioned in the same conversations as the Rosses and the Jay-Z's and the Kanye on one track, and then not only that. Bodied them all.
Killed every single person on that song.
But
including Jay-Z.
But it's still a Kanye song. You know what I'm saying?
But it feels like a feature. That's It still feels like you were featured on the song. When Drake's featured on the song, I feel like that's Drake's song, and whoever
you just happen to
you just hear.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like, you're a conduit for me to hear Drake. I don't want to hear you anymore. Like even
really is like that. Yeah.
Like Travis Scott's song, like the,
oh my god, that's a great example. That's a great
bro. Sicko Mode is Travis Scott's song. It's not though.
It's not. It's really not. And I remember us being around a very big Travis Scott fan when it was happening. He kept trying to convince us, and you could tell it was desperation. No, like Travis really, it's really, he's better. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
but Sahai wrote the song.
It doesn't even matter. Like, Drake, it's not even subjective at that point. No. Drake's every part of it from the beginning to where he just started off the song to the part where it really switches and then the shots he took at Ye on his own artist track, like, yo, it was, again, GOAT. Yeah. You got it, Drake. You got it. You're the fucking GOAT, man. Easily, you know what I'm saying? We never thought a light-skinned dude would take over the rap game, but here we are.
Yeah, I'm proud of you, bro. I appreciate it.
You felt that.
I feel that. I appreciate that. Keep singing, bro. Keep singing.
All right, so let's hop into this next topic. I really want talk about, because this is something we've talked about in Clubhouse. I've seen it all over Twitter. Like the social media dictate success in the music industry. Like does that directly correlate to your success in the music industry?
Yeah, and I've said it before, but I think that social media in general is dictating just the flow of money in general. I think that the flow of all businesses coming through social media, and also social media is kind of subjective a little bit. What you consider to be social media and what's not social media.
Okay, so what do you think is social media?
I would say social media is the obvious ones, like the actual social media.
Twitter, Facebook, TikTok. What about YouTube?
But then you have YouTube, and you got. I feel like podcasts are now becoming part of social media.
Part of social media, okay.
Especially with you got new platforms coming out now that are allowing you to interact with your listeners and your viewers live while you're doing the podcast now, which is making it even more social, and people are getting the opportunity to really talk about what they do.
Do you consider Clubhouse social media?
I would consider Clubhouse to be social media.
Okay, I feel like Clubhouse is the first social media that has made it vocal, and I mean literally vocals.
Like literally talk to you.
Yeah. And I thought that was a cool concept at first.
I think it's.
Then I realized I'd rather you be limited to 140 characters.
Some people only need 140 characters, and then maybe not. Some of y'all niggas need to go back to 6-second videos.
Yeah.
Like, fine.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. What a time.
What a time to be alive. That's right, kids.
Yeah.
Back in my day, we only got to watch videos for 6 seconds. If you wasn't funny in 6 seconds, you wasn't funny.
All right. We gotta get back to that one. So, do you think you can be successful without social media?
No, there's no way. The advertising is gone everywhere else. Where would you make money?
Okay.
Where are you going to spend your advertising money?
I think when you include YouTube in that conversation, then I think I 100% agree with you.
Yeah, anywhere you can put video content to promote yourself or your business is going to be your best bet right now.
And you're getting like direct data from your direct like from your target audience. Like you can't really beat that.
No.
And I look back and I'm like, how the fuck did they do this before? It's mind-boggling. How did I do this before? Because I started in 2007 before like social media was like a real big thing. Like we had Facebook, but it wasn't like you could blow up off of Facebook.
We didn't know shit about analytics.
Nothing. Or algorithms.
What was an algorithm? Nobody knew what the hell that was.
Yeah, so like I had to really be out here, and I'm still thinking like, bro, I was really just pissing in the wind. Like I was just like, hey, want my CD? Hey, want my CD? Hey, I'm at a show. I performed. Like I had to actually hand out flyers and post up posters. You know what I'm saying? Like it was a different time, and it's just like, bro, the time efficiency, the cost efficiency. Oh my goodness! But now that the social medias own us, you know what I'm saying? As far as like now we're paying their what they, you know what I'm saying? Like we're paying their price. Like, hey, you need us. You know what I'm saying? So
they built it that way.
Yeah, they did, and they built the internet that way. from Google all the way down to IG or whatever.
Google was the first ones. They the grandpappy of raping motherfuckers for their data. That's their thing.
Yeah,
that's where Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. That's where they all get it from. Yeah, they literally just copied and pasted Google's platform and was like, we was gonna do it here.
So Yahoo and AOL, they were kind of like the predecessors to Google. Mm-hmm. You don't think they had an impact on how Google did?
I'm sure that there was a piece of what AOL and I think AOL was more so riding the coattails of Microsoft because they were more interested in selling their software.
Okay.
I
remember that.
They just wanted
to buy the CD to put. Oh my god!
All they wanted was to get people connected to the internet through them.
How mad were you when somebody called you?
Oh my god!
And it always seemed to be right when it was dialing up.
Right.
Like
as soon as I'm connected to the internet, here go a fucking phone call. Every time.
Y'all just don't understand.
You'll never understand. But yeah, I think that AOL was way back before the internet was the meat and potatoes. Yeah. The internet used to be the after effect of getting that sale. So I think that AOL was more focused on that.
Okay, that makes sense.
And I think Yahoo was probably the next step from there, where it became more digital because we don't sell internet. We live on the internet. We need you to be here.
Got you. So we need you to be invested in that to even get to this point.
To even get to us. Okay. And then once the internet became more accessible, Google saw like, oh shit, by people using the internet, we collect a lot of fucking data.
We collect all the data.
We collect everything that they
race,
do, everywhere
sex,
they go,
age, where they live.
We have all this information at our disposal. How do we turn that into money? You know what I mean? And because they realize data is literally king, and people will pay for data.
They were already doing that. You know what I'm saying? But it was collected differently.
Right. It was a completely different beast.
Focus groups, stuff like that. Things you had to actually bring people together for.
Right.
Like people don't have to leave their crib now to give you, everything that a company needs to market to them.
You look like at this point, Google can literally pinpoint the exact person down to their fucking living room that will buy your shit. Not maybe. Not you should probably advertise here because they might think about buying. Yeah. No, like this person right here today will buy your shit.
Yeah, they're actually talking about it.
Yeah, they're literally talking about it right
and
now.
That's scary. That's scary. Yeah, it's very because that shit about talking about something and then being on your phone, that's a true thing.
It's real.
It's scary.
It's a blessing and a curse. It's like, well, what do you want? Do you want to live in that world we used to live in, or do you like the fact that you can say something and your phone is like, hey, I heard you talking about tapas. Here's a good tapa restaurant. Like, you know what, phone? Thank you. That's exactly what I wanted to eat.
Yeah, I think I battle with like. I want the middle ground. I want the internet at my disposal, but fam, let me have my conversation. You know what I'm saying?
Here's the thing. I trust Google with my information. I don't trust who Google will sell my information to, including but not limited to my own government. Okay. Because anytime, and this is throughout history for thousands of years, and if you meet a real scientist, they'll tell you. Yeah. Science is often great until it becomes militarized, until a government gets their hand on it. Yeah. And as soon as a government touches it, the science goes from being helpful to hurtful.
When you say you militarize it, you mean like turn it into like a weapon, or turn it into anything that can be used against you.
Anything that could be used against you. So I mean, So like we were saying, my phone listens to me. It knows I want to buy something, so it shows me an Amazon ad next time I get on Facebook. That's super helpful. Yeah, I was talking about it. Now I don't have to think about it or look for it anymore. My phone already knew. That's super helpful. Yeah. But imagine that kind of technology in the hands of somebody that just wants to know where you are all the time, or you talking bad about the government, or you saying some shit they don't like, and that same technology is now available to that person.
Well, that's kind of what the Snowden thing was about. Yeah. Where he exposed the government on that exact thing.
And the government tried to say we weren't doing that, but then we found out they were doing it.
Yeah, and then they tried to kill him, and he literally had to run to Russia. And he's in Russia right now.
To this day, can't come back to this country.
Yeah, for telling the truth. Yeah. Yeah.
So I mean, imagine that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you live in a place where telling the truth could get you murdered by your own government.
By your own fucking government, and that's the part that's scary to me, is that you don't need to know. I am a grown ass fucking person, and I will go look it up myself, and that's why I want that middle ground. I want the internet. I want access to whatever the fuck I want, but when I want it. You know what I'm saying? Like my girl doesn't get to listen to all my conversations. You don't get to listen to all my conversations. You know what I'm saying? Like you, you know, you think you hold higher value to me than my own girl? Like no, you know what I'm saying? Or you know, whoever. It doesn't have to be you know your significant other. But yeah, so let's get back to the topic because we ramble a little bit. But so with that being said, where we're both in agreement like that, social media dictates your success because it's the main marketing tool for everybody. You know, they made it accessible to get directly to business to customer.
I knew that social media had taken over business in its entirety when I saw like real estate start to adopt Facebook ads.
Okay.
And that was when I first, because when I started doing real estate 3 years ago, and just 3 years ago, it was still phone calls, bandit signs, and going up to people's houses. And just in a short period of time, I've watched real estate investors grow on the internet through TikTok and through Facebook ads.
Because everybody's there.
That's where they're at.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to get to, because at this point, what people are realizing now, I think, is that the people who are at home buying age and investment age are no longer children anymore. You know, it's no longer older people either that don't use the internet.
Yeah, like everybody has to use the internet.
Everybody's on.
My grandmother, not my grandmother, but your grandmother has a Facebook.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? She might only post, whatever, but them ads are still getting to her.
Those ads are coming up anyway because she still fits the demographic.
Yeah.
And now that everybody's on the internet, where else do you go?
That's a good point. So, I guess that leads me to a very big question for myself personally as an artist, and I think a lot of artists out here is like, what's the value of a DSP like Spotify or Apple Music title when you can get directly to your customer and sell them something? Where does it make sense anymore to stream, to not get paid for streaming just because people can access it?
It's a good question, and I've actually been thinking about this over the last week. Like, what really is the value of it? And the most obvious value is accessibility. But if you can access what I'm selling now, what am I selling you when you find me? Yeah. What do I have left to sell you now?
Well, they that's why there are a lot of conversations like, well, you can't just do music. You have to, sell merch, and you have to, sell a brand and da.
But that only further pushes Spotify out of my way then.
Exactly.
If I got to do all this other shit anyway.
Yeah, I'm already investing in Instagram and YouTube and Facebook and TikTok, and now I got to also invest in Spotify and Apple to not even see a cent of return per stream. I mean, shit. I think to even get $1, you have to get like a crazy amount of streams, and it's like, where does this make sense for us as artists anymore?
It really doesn't, especially at this level, like where like you're still trying to like get to a level where you're getting consistent money from music in general. Yeah. It's like, what is the point?
What's the point? I can for all that, I can take those ad dollars and put them into Bandcamp.
Right.
And where I might limit you to 20 seconds of a song, and then I can sell you something. Or Audio Mac, where I can literally upload 30 seconds of my track, get a stream, get paid for it, and then that's all you get to hear. And if you want more, you can go. There's a purchase link right there.
Yeah, I think that in 2021, I don't think music is for sale anymore. I think that personality is for sale, and
brand is for sale.
Yeah, your brand is for sale, and your music is just a marketing tool.
Yeah, I think I said that in a previous conversation. It's like, it's almost like an introduction to the bag.
Yeah.
Like, even if you look at, for example, my best example was last year, Travis Scott. Richard, he was the wealthiest rapper from 2020. His money came from Fortnite, McDonald's, and I think like a clothing deal. Fortnite pending because he did perform. It was music. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't, a music thing. He didn't get paid. Nobody purchases music. You know what I'm saying? So we already know that our artists have been paid. Their majority of their income has come off of performances for who knows how long now.
Yeah.
So you're really looking at like, okay, this guy did all of that and still didn't make a bag off of music.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's also kind of disheartening.
Yeah, it is. It
Like,
makes no sense.
I'm not fucking Travis Scott, so what does that mean for me? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Well, and not even that. How many artists can you really put on a game until the novelty wears off?
right.
So like, all right, say you put Travis, Drake, Kendrick, whoever. After about the third or fourth one, it's like, okay, you know what I'm saying. This is not a thing I want to do all the time.
Right.
And COVID has definitely made it so that we're a little bit more desperate to have something, new or something to be part of.
Right.
But like at the same time, it's like you said, you're not Travis, and you may never be Travis, and that goes for not just you.
There are literally millions of people that will never be Travis Scott.
Yeah, and or even in that level, but can still have a successful career. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's where it's like, why do we need this anymore?
Right.
The labels have obviously taken this over. They're the ones invested in it. They're the ones that own these DSPs. They dictate the editorial playlist. It's like, why do we need this anymore? In fact, why does really anybody need it? Because 50 billion streams we talked about with Drake. How much do you really think he made off of that? Not what he's worth.
Yeah, not what he should have paid.
Yeah, not what he's worth. You know what I'm saying? And that's a conversation that needs to be had. Like,
that's a real conversation that needs to be had because, like I was mentioning before, we are providing all of the content that lives inside of these apps and these DSPs. We provide 100% of the product that they sell.
We have to, and as artists, we have to first off pay for the beat. Mm-hmm. Then we have to write the song. That's time, which is money to me. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Then we have to go record it. We have to pay to record it. Obviously, some people are blessed. But we've had to pay for our own recording.
Equipment still ain't free.
Yeah, it ain't free. And then we have to get it mixed. Then we have to get it mastered. And then we have to get it distributed. But before that, we have to get the cover art done, and we have to get the promo material. And it's like at some point, we could just give throw out a number. Say it's $1,000. How many streams do you realistically have to get back? And that's just to put the song out. You're not talking about the money it takes to advertise the song so that you can get people to go listen to it, because you're already stuck in one algorithm via IG or Facebook or YouTube. So you got to pay to get out of that algorithm, and then you got to direct that to a source that's not even a return on investment. It's sad to say, and I really actually didn't want to say this on camera because I don't want to be disheartening or even kill my own career, because I'm a content creator for other people. But like, music doesn't make sense business wise. It doesn't.
I don't think it ever has. I think.
Well, it hasn't for the artist.
For the artist,
yes.
From the artist perspective, I don't think it's ever made business sense. I think it's always been like this.
Yeah.
This is just a new platform and a new vehicle for the oppression.
Yeah.
But I think this same oppression has been happening forever. We hear horror stories every single year. Yeah. From multiple artists
from some of the most respected artists. I mean, even Taylor Swift got dicked. You know what I'm saying? And like, you can say whatever you want about her music, but like, she is one of the most successful artists we've ever witnessed in the history of music.
She is a true star. Yeah. And even she can get fucked over in a record deal by Apple Music. She had to write a fucking white lady letter to Apple Music to let them know, like, hey, you're fucking up. Yeah. There's no way this is how much you're paying me.
Yeah. And it's disrespectful. Because it's like, yo, we don't do this to any other type of artist. Whether you paint or take photography or whatever, they don't do this to them. You know what I'm saying?
That's why you don't see Apple. Remember when Apple Music first came out and the celebrities were doing Apple Music commercials? Yeah. And now they're not.
Yeah, they got some random Joe Schmo, like
just random people doing Apple Music commercials.
Just listen to the music, like
Yeah, because that's because the artists were like, yeah, I'm not supporting this.
Yeah, and why would they?
Right.
Why would they? So what happens when if we collectively say, fuck it, I'm not distributing my music to somebody who's gonna pay me less than a cent for my stream? See,
now Drake has a whole deal with Apple himself. Like, it was just a Drake deal with Apple.
But I believe, if I'm not mistaken, and I don't have enough research to back this, so if I am wrong, y'all can kill me in the comments. But I believe that deal was for OVO Radio.
Okay.
I believe. Or maybe OVO Radio was included in that. But he got like $75 million out of that.
That was a big ass deal.
Yeah. That was his biggest deal so far. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, that's not a small deal. That's a huge fucking deal.
He might be stuck with him there, but he doesn't have to be stuck with his label. But just to stay
I mean,
on topic,
the thing is like, all right. So say he's stuck with Apple. He says fuck Spotify, fuck Tidal, fuck whoever. You know what I'm saying? Like that doesn't have a system set up to benefit him. You know, that's still that's that Apple Music shit is 24 million people, 30 million people. There's a bunch more people that listen to Drake's music than that. You know what I'm saying? Because that he's getting 50 billion on Spotify. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That which is the biggest platform for streamers for streaming music. So and they got the Joe Rogan podcast now. They had the Joe Budden podcast. So and that was Joe Budden's biggest argument was like, yo, how much is stream worth?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And
and that's like kind of what we're talking about right now. Joe Budden kind of felt that's why he's not at Spotify anymore because he was like, this doesn't make any fucking sense. I'm bringing all of this attention to you, to
your platform,
and you're not. I'm not recouping any of it.
Well, you have the audacity to pay. What do you think they paid? $200 million or something like that or $100 million to Joe Rogan?
Yeah, they gave like $100 million deal.
Yeah, and it's like we brought all these people here, proven because like now you got to think about Joe Rogan. Who has been a big presence on YouTube. That was where he was getting all his paychecks from. And then, now he has to prove that he can take his listeners from YouTube and bring them over to Spotify. And make them pay. And not only make them pay, but have them listen to a 3-hour podcast with no visual. Because that was part of I thought was the coolest part about Joe Rogan.
I like seeing Joe Rogan.
He was, us being potheads, of course, like, he was smoking and, his guests were smoking. He got Elon Musk to smoke a blunt on camera.
Right.
That hurt, which hurt his stocks a little bit, which was crazy. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, you think Elon Musk just taking a little hit of a blunt is going to affect his business sense in any type of way?
Of course not.
But that's a whole nother discussion.
We all know stocks are imaginary and they're all based on human emotion.
Yeah. So I look at him like, yo, you're taking the best part to me and then dumbing it down. And I'm not mad at fucking Joe Rogan. Like,
he got his bread.
Yeah, somebody offers me $100 million. Yes. and that, that's another discussion that came up with DJ Booth just tweeted about was about a lot of artists are selling their catalogs now. It's like a thing. Wayne was one that we cared about most because we're in the hip hop community, but there's been a lot of big artists that's been selling it, and it's like all this talk about owning your masters and has been like at the forefront of especially hip hop for like I don't know years now, and now all of these huge stars that supersede anything that's happened in hip hop are selling their catalogs. So I'm like going back to the conversation, it's like yo, cash rules everything. You know what I'm saying? But I still am perplexed at how it makes sense for us to be involved in that world. You know what I'm saying? We don't have the following that Joe Rogan has. Nobody's gonna pay us $100 million to keep our catalog on one DSP. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like they're not even gonna pay us $100. You know what I'm saying? Right. So like what do we do about it? Because I'm dead at the point where like my next album, I think I might just do it on Audio Mac because I can limit the amount of time people listen to it, and there's a purchase link right there. And what you said about building a community behind an artist, that's Audio Mac's like whole purpose. It's like to build communities behind artists. That seems more beneficial to me than having to invest all of this money into Spotify to never see a return on investment.
It makes everything else worth it also, like. Because then you can continue to create content. You can continue to shoot videos, do skits and things like that, do podcasts and shit, just to like build that personality connection with your audience. But when you direct them to your art, you're not getting fucked out of that part. The part that's most important. You know what I'm saying? Like
absolutely.
As an artist, I don't like that my creation is on the back burner of everything else. That makes me mad. It's like I didn't start doing music because I wanted to be a dude that does skits.
Yes.
Like I doing skits is fun. You know,
Yeah,
sure.
I love it. Yeah.
But I'm a music artist. Like, but you're telling me that I have to do skits now. I have to do this.
I have to do that. I have to do that. Yeah.
In order for people just to do to listen to the music that I made for them in the first place.
Yeah, and then people get mad because certain artists don't take their time or they're just throwing out songs. But it's like, how can you blame them? Why would I take my time with this? Right. I'm not actually getting paid from this.
I have no motivation to do this in any certain way.
Yeah, my art isn't going to be appreciated anymore if I put, because I'm only getting paid for 30 seconds. Mm-hmm. So, who gives a fuck?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if they skip it after 30 seconds, I still got paid. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, where's the motivation into putting the time into the art anymore? You know what I'm saying? And I think that's something that needs to be discussed. With all that being said, you know, I'm still in between because I do feel like right now at my stage, though I've seen some dope, you know, successes and I've had some great experiences, you know, I will limit myself to the exposure that I get. Yeah. But again, I'm not here to just, you know, I could rap for myself anytime I want to. Right. I don't have to release a song and make as many music, you know, as much music as I want, many songs as I want. But, you know, as a business, as somebody who's trying to start their own label and, you know, build a brand and build a legit business, it makes no sense anymore. Right. And at one point, you know, it could have been argued that it did. You know what I'm saying? Like very early on in streaming services when people were still kind of like doing both. Right. It makes sense. But now it's like you have artists going platinum off of just streaming. They're not even trying to sell the music because they know that the real value is getting a show. Right. Packing out a stadium, you know, and
being able to say you're a platinum artist.
Yeah. And then, you know, COVID hits. Where are those same artists right now? I haven't heard nothing from them.
Right. That's the problem with this system in particular because that whole exposure, accessibility idea was working on the masses for a long time, and then when COVID came, we found out it's a load of shit.
Yeah, and not only that, when COVID hit, you know, regardless if you really want to admit this or not, it changed how people are looking at things, in a ton of capacities, not just music, but it's like, yo, people are more worried now about spending time with family and being personable. Mm-hmm. Like, yo, your content has to be more than you flashing ice and money. That shit doesn't work anymore. Because guess what? People are fucking going homeless.
People are broke.
Yeah, they're broke. They don't have a job. They don't have the means to, you know, maybe pay rent next month. You know what I'm saying? I've been a victim of that in myself where I've suffered throughout this pandemic and lost money, you know, due to not being able to have those shows or, you know, whatever. So it's like, you got to realize, like, sometimes the climate changes and streaming in particular is not one of those things that survive. I think is gonna survive much longer when it comes to music. You know what I'm saying? So, our light just went out. Our blue light just went out.
RP blue light.
It's okay.
That's all right.
So, you know, that's how I feel about it. You know what I'm saying? We can go to the next topic or whatever, you know, talk about whatever you want. But, you know, the fact is like, I don't respect it anymore. I think it's definitely a scam. And the fact that Spotify hasn't made any money, hasn't been profitable at all, good. You know what I'm saying? Good. Because now you know. Now you know. Yeah, now you fucking know.
But there's some other things about businesses and how they handle losses and shit that we could go into. I won't go into.
Yeah. That's a whole nother discussion.
But Spotify is not making money.
Yeah. Well, don't get me wrong. And the people who work there are making money, but as a business they haven't, and I think that's ironic and hilarious. Right. But trust me, you know, and they're not the labels are not putting that money into nobody's pockets. You know what I'm saying? So, okay, so let's get past all that shit. Let's talk about something that's really truly important to the world. Tom Brady is in another fucking Super Bowl.
Now, is Tom Brady the GOAT?
Oh, hold on. Tom Brady's been the GOAT.
Yeah, well, nah, he's solidified now though. He was already solid.
Bro, I read a stat today, bro. Tom Brady's been in 10 Super Bowls, right? Mm-hmm. That's twice as much as the next biggest QB. Mm-hmm. Now this argument also can be applied to Braun, but Braun has a losing record. So it's the dynamic of it of like, yeah, you've been a lot, but yo, Brady's won a lot. He's 7 rings, or wait, 7 rings or six. He's going for 7 right now. We're talking about right now 6 for 9. That's 2/3. That's 66%. Yeah. That means like, yo, basically when he goes, he's almost gonna win. He's almost always gonna win. And if you take away the losses really to just the Giants, then that statistic changes even more dramatically. Yeah. But I'm sick of this guy.
Did you just skip over the fact that he lost to the Eagles? You said
no. The fact is, like, he only lost to the Eagles once. Yeah. You know, like
he beat us once. We beat him once.
Yeah. Where the Giants literally own him.
They just ran at him.
Yeah. And
the Manning family in general is like, this man's kryptonite.
You could say that to some degree, but the way he did Peyton Manning in the playoffs multiple times, Eli, even though and I want this to be known. Eli is number 1 on my most hated athlete list. Eli, James Harden, and then Patrick Beverly. Hate all of them. If I ever see Eli, I promise you, on my dead grandma, I will fight him. I hate his.
What did he do to you?
Have you ever seen Step Brothers?
Yeah.
And he's like, yo, I don't know what it is about your face, but you need to fix it, or I'll fix it for you.
Yeah.
Yo, I felt like that about Eli. Like, because this is what's crazy. I read about Eli when he played college, and I was actually excited because I love Peyton. I think Peyton as a pure QB might be the greatest ever. Just as a pure QB, not a winner, not a whatever. Just the way that he ran offenses, throws the ball, just that IQ elite. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I was very excited for Eli, and then Eli got to the draft day. And the temper tantrum that he threw about when San Diego did what San Diego should have done and drafted him and leveraged that into whatever they leveraged it into. Unfortunately, they didn't leverage it into any Super Bowls. Mm-hmm. He acted like a little bitch. Yeah, like a straight fucking spoiled upper class white kid bitch.
He didn't want to play for San Diego, man.
I don't give a fuck. That's not how this works, bro.
But that's what he gets.
You think all these fucking QBs that get drafted first to Cleveland every fucking year want to play for Cleveland?
Yo, this would be the first year that I think our entire lives that Cleveland would not have like one of the top 5 picks of the draft.
Bro, that's what I'm saying. And and the audacity for him to literally cry on TV. You're a bitch.
Yeah, that's
and you're not. And let's just be honest. He's not an elite quarterback. No. His entire career record is 500. That's mid.
Yeah, he's literally like
he's a mid quarterback.
He could literally go either way.
It's lose or win. Yeah, it's ridiculous. And to me, it's just like, yo, the audacity for you to fucking think that you can complain about something like this, and then his face. It's just his face. I hate it.
His face sucks.
I hate it.
His face fucking sucks.
I hate it.
Eli Manning's face sucks. And I think the worst part about him crying is like even more than him acting like a bitch in general is all the kids that are either still in college or just graduated college, been playing football their whole life and didn't even make it into consideration for the draft. Yeah. And now they're sitting at home watching the draft to see
him
cry because he got picked up by a professional football team.
That's gonna pay him millions
of dollars,
and all based off of obviously some of his accomplishments, right. But based off the fact that he is Archie Manning's son and Eli Manning's brother. Right. I mean Peyton Manning's brother. Mm. Bro, I hate him, and nothing will ever change that for me. And I promise you. It is so deep in my soul that I hate him. I will fight him if I ever see him. He better hope I don't just pass him on the street because it's going to be on. He's not even going to know why. And I'm just going to, as I'm beating his ass, which I might not. I mean, let's get real. This is a professional athlete. He might whoop my ass. But at the end of the day, I'm going to steal him first. You know what I'm saying? Because he's not going to know it's coming.
I'm definitely swinging.
Yo, I'm swinging on his, oh, God, I hate him.
Now that you put it that way, I join you. I hate Eli Manning also.
And what makes it worse in my soul is that he won 2 championships. And he beat the greatest quarterback of all time in both of those championships. And we're not gonna say he did, because let's just be honest. That defense is what beat them.
It was the defense, bro.
But at the end of the day, he's gonna get the MVP. That's how the NFL set up. The QB gets the MVP. But Jesus Christ, man.
But that's okay, because Tom Brady went on to win what 3 or 4 more after that.
Yeah. But it's like it's like. Regardless, I know when Tom Brady sold,
he feeling that.
He every time he sees the Giants logo, he thinks about it. Because for me, I played soccer, went to college, but in high school, I played deep run. I went to Tucker. We played deep run. We never beat them, and I mean literally, not just one season. I've never beat them, and to this day, I don't care if you mention deep run. Fuck them, you know what I'm saying? Fuck them, and it's simply because I never beat them. Right. And it was one player in particular, Brian Ownby, who ended up, going to play, professional. He played for the U.S. national team. It was because of him. You know what I'm saying? But regardless, I fucking hate Deep Run. You say their name, you say Deep Run Roadhouse, you say anything Deep Run, I'm like, instantly, I get tense. I'm like, I want to, fuck this dude. You know what I'm saying? But he was nice. He was, one of the best players I've ever seen play soccer. Right. But yeah, man, we just never beat them. So I know that feeling personally of you'll never get it back. Right. You know what I'm saying? Even if he played the Giants next year, obviously couldn't play him in the Super Bowl, but say he did. You know what I'm saying? I still know that it wouldn't be okay with him because he didn't beat Eli. You know what I'm saying? It's still not it's not the same.
I don't think he could ever win. I wonder if Eli call him every year, but so you're going to another Super Bowl, huh?
Yeah. And when they did another stat analysis, how ESPN is.
We got nothing else to talk about. That's what
yeah. Only a select amount of quarterbacks have actually been and won multiple Super Bowls. Yeah. So even with a 500 record, I still think Eli's going to go to the Hall of Fame.
He's going to go to the Hall of Fame just because of those 2 Super Bowls. Because of the circumstances, because
not many QBs have two Super Bowl MVPs,
and two wins. Not only that, one of those years they came out of the wild card and beat an undefeated Tom Brady's New England Patriots.
Yeah, they beat. See, look, that's what's so crazy, and this is why I always say it's a numbers game. Cowboys beat them twice that year. Yeah, we were number 1 seed in the NFC, but you gotta think. Regardless if they're 8-8, that's an NFL team. Yeah. To beat them 3 times in a year,
it's gonna be different.
That's very hard to do. You know what I'm saying? And we had a bye, we had the rest, but it's you have to, beat a professional elite team. Regardless, they made it to the playoffs. They're in the top 8. That's elite, and it's hard. You know what I'm saying?
I think that's the thing that gets skewed in a lot of people's minds. It's that team, what people say about the Browns in San Diego, and like that. Those guys are trash. It's they're trash compared to other people who are also elite. But when you really, really break it down, these 32 teams are only the people that were good enough to play at this level. Yeah. So any given Sunday could be that Sunday.
Yeah,
and that's all it takes.
They're people say they're trash, but you can't outrun them. Yeah, you can't out-jump them or outwit.
Let one of them trash ass niggas hit you,
yeah, I don't care if they're on the fucking Browns or not.
Put some pads on and let him hit you. And let me see if he's trash or not. It'll break you in half.
Yeah, you gotta put it in perspective.
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
In perspective, when you think about it in real perspective, none of them are really trash.
I still think about it to this day. I started, I did football in middle school, and I wanted to be a running back really bad. I'm not built for a running back. Look at me.
I'm built like a wide receiver.
I'm more built like a kicker.
Or a kicker.
Yeah. But I ended up having to play receiver. I did have a very big play, as a running back, whatever. That's just something I hold on to myself. You know what I'm saying?
Whatever.
But we did win the game because but whatever. But no, I go back to in practice I would take hits. You know what I'm saying? And trying to be a running back. You have to be a man. You have to be a whole type of different man.
You gotta be a man.
Because you got to understand, everybody on that other side of that line is not only there to be the best at their job, but they're there to fucking destroy you.
They're there to kill you.
Yeah. And they want you to quit. Yeah. Because then that's just one less person they got to deal with. and I quit. I was like, yeah, I'm not built for this shit. It hurts.
Right, yeah.
I can't imagine, somebody like who plays ground and pound, like a Emmitt Smith did back in the day, or like Marshawn Lynch, bro. That is heavy duty ass beating all the time.
Straight down the gut.
Down the gut.
You got 300-pound niggas just all on you, and every single one of them want to hurt you.
And the thing is, you're getting hit by them, but you're getting hit into other people. You're getting kneed. Like, bro, I can't imagine what your body feels like coming out of that situation on a regular basis.
My dad said that every single hit during like a high-level football game, even in college, like every single hit is like it's like being in a car accident over and over for 60 minutes.
Yeah, it's insane. So I would much rather be a kicker.
Yeah. Don't touch me.
We got off some light shit. Tom Brady is the GOAT. I don't want him to win.
I want him to win. At this point, it's like there's no point in betting against Tom Brady because there's no more time after this to like where Tom Brady's back in the mix. You know what I'm saying? It's like, well, we're not going to root for him because we can dethrone him. No, you can't.
I'm gonna say it simply like this: fuck Tom Brady. He's the GOAT. Fuck Tom Brady. I hate his face too. Not as much as I hate Eli's, and he's not in my top 5 hated athletes. But I want Mahomes to win.
That'll be nice.
And you saw how excited I was last year. We watched the Super Bowl together.
Yeah.
I know Ty wasn't very happy, but
of course.
Yeah, being a 49ers fan, it must have been tough.
The game was going so good too.
Well, that's the thing though, and this is where I think that where Atlanta, made that mistake of getting up big on Brady and him coming back. That won't happen this year. The comeback kings are in Kansas City. Right. If they released his stat in Mahomes' stat sheet, bro, we're looking at maybe the next GOAT.
I said that last year when they won the Super Bowl. And
yeah.
I said I think we just watched the new Tom Brady's first Super Bowl.
Yeah. And then you take it a step further, the fact that he is elusive. He's not a running quarterback. A lot of people like
he's athletic
because he's black. They like to put him in that he's a running quarterback.
As soon as a black quarterback steps out of the pocket, you're automatically Michael Vick, bro.
Yeah. But the thing is like he's a pocket passer, and he's good at what he does.
He got a rocket, bro.
Yeah, but the thing is when he gets out of that pocket, I wouldn't say he's fast. Like he's not, lightning speed, but he's elusive as fuck.
He's super athletic. He's just an athletic dude.
Yeah, and I think that if he can really, if they can really lock in a real squad for a couple of years, we might see, multiple rings.
It might have been made in the lab. I'm just saying. He might have been made. He too perfect. He just too. I don't like how perfect he is. It's just fucking how you perfectly light skinned, your hair perfectly curly. You play football perfectly.
I felt that way about LeBron. Besides, if LeBron's hair didn't give out on him, I would have swore that man's a robot. But his hair gave out on him. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's the only thing that makes him human.
Yeah. Like, bro, how are you 6'8", but you can run like you're 6'2"?
Right.
How are you that heavy, but you can dunk like you weigh nothing?
How the fuck are you 200 and something pounds?
Yeah.
You're almost 40.
Yeah.
And you're still outrunning 20-year-olds.
Not even,
And you're 100 pounds bigger than
what he did to fucking James Harden and Russell Westbrook last year, I would have left Houston. Russell Westbrook is over in D.C. distraught. His life will never be the same. And Harden, I would have left Houston too. He made them look like little boys. And I'm not even exaggerating when I say little fucking boys. Like, if I was to go play my 8-year-old son in the next room, I would obviously destroy him.
Right.
That's how I literally watched LeBron James destroy the fucking Houston Rockets. And I have, as much as I hate James Harden and his face, I really respect his game offensively.
Right.
It doesn't matter. It's nothing compared to this. It doesn't matter. It's nothing compared to this. And you get to a level of like where you say it's like, I'm not sure if you're human or not. Like, you really might be like.
You might have been made in the lab.
Yeah, you might be. Yeah.
Look, I feel the same way about Tom Brady though. Tom Brady looked like he was literally created on a computer and printed out.
Yeah, he is. He has not like where they say like black doesn't crack. Brady has not cracked.
Not
boy,
once.
boy, it looks like he might have gotten younger.
Yeah, and he's playing a physical contact sport.
Yeah, and if and we're gonna take it outside because he's a QB. He doesn't get hit a lot, but like bro, he's in there lifting weights. He's in there running and regardless of how much you take care of your body, that starts to weigh on you.
When you get older, yeah. He's 43 now.
Yeah, I saw a video of him, and of course this video is super corny. Him and Gronk, which I do think Gronk is hilarious, but I don't even think I saw a line in his face.
Yeah.
Like I don't think I saw a fucking wrinkle.
His face looked exactly the same.
Yo, for real, as a fellow white man, drop your skincare routine, bro. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Drop it. You know what I'm saying?
Put that out for the white brothers and sisters.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
They need that, bro.
Yeah, because I'm thinking lotion after showers is the only thing that I need. I obviously need something else.
Tom Brady is doing something else.
Yeah, so it's just it's crazy to see people like that like not only do you you a well-rounded athlete, superior athlete, like you look like you don't even get fazed by this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like me, I spend a day in the gym. I'm like, fuck that. You know what I'm saying? I need 2 days, and then then we can reconsider me going back to that bitch. Like, it's an insane thing to watch because like there is really levels to this shit. You know what I'm saying?
It's so nuts when you think back to Tom Brady's origins and like the fact that he got picked up 12 rounds into the draft and he sat on the bench for the first couple years.
He didn't sit in the bench, bro. He sat in the fucking stadium. He sat in the crowd. Like he watched Drew Bledsoe. I believe it was Drew Bledsoe.
It was Drew Bledsoe. Yeah.
Play, and he was in the first row of the state, like in the crowd.
When he was like third string or some shit. He was like maybe I think he became second string the year Drew Bledsoe got hurt. And he finally took over. Mm-hmm. But I'm pretty sure when he got drafted, I don't even think he was the backup.
Yeah, he wasn't, bro. That's what I'm saying. He was literally watching from the crowd. We probably could have got better seats than him.
and now Drew Bledsoe's at home somewhere watching this guy. Like, what is Drew Bledsoe thinking right now?
I don't know, because Drew Bledsoe is a disappointment. So
huge letdown.
Yeah, huge letdown.
It's never been more apparent how much of a letdown Drew Bledsoe was than when Tom Brady took over the Lakers. The only guy I say has been more disappointing than Drew Bledsoe is Jim Kelly. Jim Kelly went to 4 back-to-back Super Bowls and lost all of them. R.I.P. Jim Kelly, but that is a fact.
yeah. Like Jesus Christ, man.
R.I.P. Jim Kelly.
He died?
Yeah, Jim Kelly died.
Oh, R.I.P. man. I didn't even mean to trash you like that, but it is what it is.
No, that's a sports fact. That is a statistic. That's real life. Yeah. But yeah, he did pass away.
Yeah. He lived out in Goochland.
Yeah, he used to live. I used to live in Chesney Landing, on Chesney Lake, and his house. He didn't live there anymore when I lived there. Yeah. But he built that house around the corner from me, and it was ginormous.
Bro, that's what he did in Goochland. He built a house out there and then didn't live in there.
Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know why he did that, but yeah.
Boy, was probably making that real estate money.
He was getting that real money.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was.
That's pretty cool though. That's pretty cool. Mm-hmm. Shout out Jim Kelly and his family. But shout out my boys because we got 2 of them championships off. So okay, let's
before we jump to the next topic, then if I didn't even know it was y'all that beat them.
It was the Giants, then the Redskins, and then we beat them twice.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's okay. Well then I'll give them a little bit of slack. The Cowboys in the '90s were not to be fucked with.
No, absolutely not.
Y'all, that was a dominant. You talking about like what LT Deion Sanders era?
Yeah, and I think Deion was there for one of them. But I don't know if Deion was there for those 2.
Did Deion win any championships with the Cowboys?
Yeah, he did. He won. He won when we had it in We won in '95 against the Steelers.
Gotcha.
So, or it might have been '96.
I'm not brushed up on my Cowboys history because I don't like them.
It's been so long since we won a championship. I'm not even brushed up, and I actually witnessed all 3 of those. Even as a young child. So, but no, we had Emmitt Smith, Troy Aikman. That whole era.
That's just dominant names next to each other. Yeah. Bro. Like those are just crazy names.
Yeah, it was crazy.
There was nobody fucking with the Cowboys in the '90s.
Yeah, we had Jimmy Johnson as a coach, like elite coach. You know what I'm saying? Came from the U, like just everything. We had everything working for us. So, but yeah, so I want to switch gears real quick. We've been talking about people's ugly faces enough. I think a big thing that's happening in America right now is the, for lack of a better term, fake news. You know, I I see constantly, daily basis, hourly basis, misleading information, misleading headlines, and then the worst is people doubling down on it and taking these, false, narratives and running with them and causing more, anxiety, paranoia, hysteria in the, a country that I think is like overwhelmed with that. So for you is like, are these like conspiracies doing more damage than helping us reveal the truth?
Yeah. Now, yeah.
Yeah,
Back,
because it seems like everybody has some conspiracy that has unveiled the government's secret plan for destruction on a daily basis now.
that's the thing about it though. Like in this day and age, nobody is confused about the fact that the government lies to us. We know.
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Like, it's not even like a thing. Back in the '60s and shit, when JFK happened, you probably couldn't have convinced them white people that the government was against them.
Yeah.
But now with the internet and like the things that we've seen, the fact that we've caught the government in multiple lies in the last just 5 to 10 years, like just the Edward Snowden thing.
Yeah.
Edward Snowden said the NSA is listening to your calls, and then they were like, "No, we're not."
Yeah.
And then after they had no other fucking choice,
Yeah.
because we were asking too many questions,
Yeah.
they were finally like, "Okay, we're listening to you."
But it's
for you though.
Yeah, yeah. It's because of 9/11.
Right. It's because you need to be safe, and we need to make sure that's the case. Like that kind of shit. It's like, okay, so at this point in 2021, nobody is disillusioned about the government anymore. So now it's like the conspiracies have changed.
Yeah.
It used to be like the JFK conspiracy and like, hey, aliens really exist. The government lies to us, and like these are very basic things. Like, yeah, we know.
Yeah.
Now we know these things, but now the conspiracies are being created by the people that the conspiracies are about. So now it's like,
Facts.
they flipped the fucking game on us. You know what I'm saying? Like they flipped the game on us.
It's like they're almost creating it as they're typing it.
Right, and they're feeding it to people that they know are susceptible, so that they'll feed it back to them, and they want you to look crazy.
Yeah,
they want you to look crazy.
Yeah, I have a lot, because like, don't get me wrong, some of the stuff has truths to it.
Yeah.
But man, I hate the term conspiracy theorist.
Yeah,
you already lost credibility.
You immediately lose your credibility, which is sad, but
yeah. Yeah, because I know that's what it started out, but it's like no, you are the problem. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? You are, feeding misinformation to purposely back your point.
Right.
And I had a debate with somebody that we both know on Twitter, and I can only speak from my own experiences. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think that everything is race. I don't think that everything is the government trying to get us. Mm-hmm. And right now I want to target it down to what I'm trying to get to is like with coronavirus. Like, there are people dying.
Yeah.
They are dying. And no matter what you think or, what your beliefs are, it's like this is something that has to be addressed by all of us.
It's a lot of the coronavirus in particular conspiracies are coming from one side of the aisle, which we all know. Yeah, it's intentional. I try not to blame them too much for that because I know that they're being fed that information. Yeah, but at the same time, it's like the reason why we're so susceptible to that shit is because we're spoiled. We haven't had a real tragedy or a real situation where we've had to come together this way. We've never had our entire country be threatened at one time like this. Yeah. During a lot of people's lifetime, like outside of people who were alive, like in World War II,
were alive during polio.
Right. Yeah. Like those people, most of those people are dead now. Almost everybody that's alive right now has not lived to see America in turmoil.
So that brings me up to two things, right? Let's go to polio. Mm-hmm. Because really around the coronavirus, at first it was like, no, they're trying to control the masses, They want you to stand 6 feet apart so that they can identify you, but you have a mask on. It doesn't make sense.
Also, they've been identifying you this entire time.
You're on social media telling me this with your face out.
They literally gave you a number when you were born that identifies you.
Yes.
To the government. They can find you whenever they feel like it.
Yes. I mean, you swipe a debit card. You have a bank account. You probably have a job. You're identifiable, man. You're on Facebook telling me this while your phone is in front of your face, which is a facial recognition device. You're contradicting yourself.
You're recording your voice and showing your face voluntarily at the same time. Yes, Jeff from Poughkeepsie, the government is after you in particular. Because you're such a high value target.
They care so much about you that they're letting you lie and just letting you get away with it. Yes.
Come on, bro.
But let's talk about polio. Like, that's a direct implication that, the vaccines work.
Yeah.
Who has polio right now?
Nobody.
This was
literally nobody. Literally no one.
Like, you gotta be more logical when you have these conversations, and you have to have proof.
Right.
And okay, I'll go to like this. All right, if we're presenting an argument right now, regardless of even if it's factual, if your proof outweighs my proof, that person right there is gonna believe you. Right. So if you sit over here arguing, and the government provides more proof than you, I'm going with the government, man. It's just, and I don't mean to make it a government versus person thing, but it's just like, bro, where's your facts? And I don't want a blurry meme that somebody over there made, and 10,000 people have screenshotted and reposted.
You know what has been the scariest thing in this whole past year to me?
Yeah.
Is I had no idea how many people legitimately get their information from YouTube. I had no idea. I did not know that was a thing until now. And when it became like more prevalent and people in the house, like, people are...
And that's a reliable source to some people.
They are citing YouTube as their reliable. They're literally using YouTube videos, and not like research videos by scientists and data scientists and political scientists.
Yes.
They're literally watching videos of other people that think like them scream at a camera the same things that they already think.
Yes, yo. I'm looking up something right now. Keep going, bro. Keep going.
And then when you get in a conversation with them, the first thing they're like, oh yeah, I saw a video on YouTube that does. And I get customers that call me and say things like this, by the way, on the phone.
Yes.
And they're like, I saw that on YouTube, blah, blah. Like, yo, do you have anywhere else that you get information
Where
from?
did they get their information from?
Right. Is that information?
Is that cited? This is why it is very important, and I actually respect teachers more, because I used to fucking hate this in high school. Remember you write a paper and they would make you cite the sources?
Yeah.
I get why. I get why. I fucking get why.
You have to.
Yes,
Oh my God. You have to because when you're in school, you have to legitimize what you're writing about. You have to be able to prove that what you're writing about is actually true.
Yes, yeah.
In real life, you don't have that problem.
Yes.
You can just say whatever you want to say, and that's the problem.
Yes. And I think obviously Hollywood does play a big part in this. They play on people's fears. They make movies about it, and people take those to be factual things instead of realizing this is sensationalized.
Well, we're becoming disillusioned, like I was saying, because we've never had to witness anything drastic happen to our country before. There were generations of people that are just now dying who lived through some really horrific shit. And they've lived through shit where that affected the entire world at one time. Yeah. These people who saw a literal world war happen. Yeah. And they have a different idea of shit, you know what I'm saying? But we have never had
This is the first time. We, even the wars we've been in have been American wars.
They've been American wars that we created, and we've always made sure they didn't happen here.
Yeah. And we won.
And we always win.
So, we...
You got to put an asterisk next to those wins.
Maybe, But I mean, even so, like, we won in our aspect, like, where we didn't lose a lot of casualties here. There wasn't mass damage here. You know what I'm saying? Like, those countries may not be fucking recognizable anymore. You know what I'm saying? Maybe parking lots.
Some of those places are literally dust bowls now. Yeah. And but to us, it was America. It wasn't that big of a deal over here.
Well, this is America.
Right. And I think that has disillusioned a lot of us into thinking that nothing bad could ever happen to us unless somebody was orchestrating the bad.
Yes, exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
And I reflect on it because I'm like, all right, people are dying. you see that like if it was so orchestrated, why is everybody affected by it? You know, I'm not talking about. We could go even on a music industry level. The industry had no answers for Corona. If they're part of the Illuminati and the New World Order, why weren't they informed ahead of time so that they could, adjust to the plan? Or even the government, who doesn't even know what to do with people right now because people are losing jobs, because companies are shutting down, because people can't go out, because there's no identifying way to right now really regulate this thing. But people are, you got the anti-maskers, you got the anti-vaccine, then you got the QAnon, you know what I'm saying? You got the Trumpers, and it's like some of these people are really hysterical beyond belief or beyond repair. You know what I'm saying? Like to the point where it's like, yo, Trump told you it's real.
Yeah.
You still don't believe him.
Well, he told him it was fake first.
But I'm saying he retracted his own statements and was like,
I thought when he caught Corona and he came back and let them know like, yo, nah, I was fucked up for real. It really happened to me. I thought that they were all gonna immediately like just be like, oh shit, well then maybe we should fix what we're talking about.
That's what I meant. They're hysterical beyond repair. They've dived down so deep into this rabbit hole. It's like I don't know if they can see the light anymore.
It's really kind of nuts, but I never really imagined what would the world look like if the extremist conservatives of the world, or our country anyway, became the new conspiracy theories. How bad could shit get?
Because they've been that way though.
The conspiracy theorists used to be the potheads and the miscreants of the world who were asking too many questions because we were thinking too much.
Yeah.
Now the conspiracy theories are the people that own businesses, and churches, and are in governments.
Yes,
this is different. This is not how it used to be.
But the thing is, it sort of has been. I mean, how long has this race for or this search for Obama's birth certificate gone on? Shit like that.
I didn't consider that a conspiracy theory. That was just racist propaganda that was started by none other than Donald J. Trump himself. Before he was even considered for president.
That's insane.
He literally said he would pay for he was paying for the investigation. Not to mention he took out the article about the Central Park 5 and calling them animals and shit like that.
See, with the Central Park 5, I'm not caping for him. I'm not giving him any leeway. He's a fucking pig for it.
Yeah.
But those stories are backed by people who we trust. Mm-hmm. These are cops telling you, no, I know these guys did it. You know what I'm saying? So.
Oh yeah, the cops play a big role.
Yeah, and these are reporters telling you like, hey, no, I know these guys did it. And a white lady who was, was she raped or assaulted?
She was raped in the park.
Yeah, saying these guys did it. It gets a little murky there. I'm not excusing them. I'm just saying, all right, let's put that one aside. Let's get to wearing a mask. It's simple math. If you can't spread your germs around as much, you're less likely to get it. Nobody's trying to make you die from carbon poison.
Why were they making that up? Why were they just saying that? Like I don't understand. Like I was so confused about that one. Like I'm not wearing a mask because I have a medical reason why I can't wear a mask. Like what medical reason? Can you show me the medical research behind this?
Apparently, when some people can't breathe as well, or So get a mask that allows you to breathe better.
No, fuck all that. That's bullshit. First of all, let me just say something. Nurses wear masks all fucking day.
Yeah.
And have been for generations of people. We're talking a century of people nursing people back to
firefighters as well.
I'm just talking about nurses because those are people who work 12-hour shifts and almost their entire shift they're wearing a mask.
And they're around immune compromising people all day long.
They're wearing masks all the time.
And that was one thing that confused me too. It's like, oh, if you have a health issue, then maybe you should actually be in the crib or wear 3 masks because you're more susceptible to this issue. It's mind-boggling.
It was fucking made up. That was the crazy part. It was like it's literally you're not going to die.
Now I'll go ahead and I'll even side with if I'm the black community, I can understand some fear behind these vaccines, especially with the amount of information we've learned about things like the Tuskegee experiment. You know, there was another thing I can't remember what test they were giving people, but they were drawing blood to test for something in the Middle East to look for Osama bin Laden's children. Mm-hmm. There's that. I don't know if that's 100% true. That's been surfaced. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of different things that have come out in this time. But what's your option? What else is your option?
Yeah, I think that eventually we're not going to have a choice. I think that that's just the case.
It's a matter of public safety now.
Yeah, at some point it's going to become a public safety issue, and it's going to be mandated, especially with Joe Biden in office. Within the next 4 years, he's going to mandate vaccines. It's just going to happen.
Mandate vaccines on corona, or you think? Okay,
specifically
gotcha.
Coronavirus vaccine. I don't know if any president's ever going to go as far as mandate all vaccines. But at least the coronavirus vaccine, while they can, they're going to do it.
I mean, I don't know how much longer we have as an economy alone to withstand not doing it.
That's the only conspiracy theory I gave any weight to. Also, like not even really weight, but just like it was the first one that I read that I was like, okay. Because there's one thing that's true about the government that's always going to be true. And how they do things is the part that gets skewed. Like, okay, are they doing it through the mask? Is it the cameras? Is it the At the end of the day, what are they doing it for? And that is one thing only: money. Everybody wants to get paid. Okay. They want to continue to get paid. They want to continue to have money flowing through the system.
So you think big pharma, or are you saying it like that?
Just big pharma, the people that benefit from big pharma, like there's people who sit in government seats in elected seats,
because they're paid by lobbyists.
Yeah, they get the lobbyists pay them money, and then they go out there and they work for the lobbyists. Yeah, and that's why I tell people about voting. Like voting is cool and everything; it brings us together and whatnot. But like at the end of the day.
It's not dictating what their intentions are.
Yeah, they might consider what we're saying, but they really only give a fuck what we think during election time. But after that point, once they get in office and get the power...
Well, look at Biden. I'm going to cancel student debt. Right. Well, I'll cancel $50,000 worth of it. Well, we're going to do $10,000. You know what I'm saying?
And he knew that shit before. He'd been in government his whole life. He knew that shit before he got in there. Yeah. He going to feed us whatever he got to get voted in.
Yeah.
So I do believe that the government is about money because that is what keeps it alive. Is the money. So knowing that my government cares about continuing to have money flowing through themselves as well as the system, I mean, it makes sense if they wanted to. Here's the thing about a democracy is that the way that our government has to do things has to be convoluted. It has to be deceptive. Just because of the way we're set up. You saw what happened. The motherfuckers stormed a federal building with real senators inside of it. And we're intending to, if they had found them, they would be dead senators right now.
Or at least injured.
Or at least at the very least.
They had zip ties and everything.
They were ready to take them motherfuckers out.
Yeah.
And that's the way our country is set up. So, in any effort that they make to do anything major or change anything, everybody's going to have a problem. Somebody's going to have a problem when you change anything.
Yeah.
So, in order to do things, our government has to kind of be convoluted and kind of backhanded a little bit. And while I don't think the government created the coronavirus, nor do I think they wish for it to continue.
Yeah.
Crashing the U.S. dollar and switching over to a digital currency is not a bad money move for them. So why not take advantage of the situation while it's happening?
Explain that.
I mean, the U.S. dollar is already falling apart. It's already losing its value.
Mm-hmm. It's not backed by gold anymore.
It's not backed by anything. Yeah. But you go into a blockchain environment, and now all of a sudden you get control of your currency back. Okay. Now, how they would do that, way above my pay grade. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not even smart enough to think of that.
I'm not even like at the level where I could even fathom what that looks like.
Yeah. But especially on a mass scale.
But yeah, exactly. Yeah. But like if I had to look at it from a practical standpoint, your money's losing value and this side's gaining value. Why wouldn't you want to switch over there? Yeah. Why you want to switch where it's going up, right? Yeah. So what hey. It's okay, I cut it out. Thanks so much. So, with that being the case, like that's now. Again, I didn't give it any real thought. It wasn't something that I really pondered or thought about. But it was the only theory that came across my timeline that gave me a little bit of a pause.
The only one that gave me a pause was it did seem convenient for Democrats that this would happen because before this. if coronavirus doesn't happen last year, Trump's president again.
Trump wins again.
He wins again, and he probably wins in a bigger landslide than he did last time. Or not, he didn't really win in a landslide last time, but he wins in a landslide.
Even with coronavirus, even with Black Lives Matter, even with the storming of the Capitol,
he only lost.
He only lost half of the country.
Yeah,
like only half.
Yeah. So you gotta really realize like the power his and this is another thing that we can go about that conversation another time about unification and like mobilizing that. Mm-hmm. His followers did that.
They did it.
But the only one that caught somewhat of my attention, but again, I think is debunked just by the amount of lives and shit that's been affected is that the Democrats planned this to ruin him.
Yeah, if anything, it wasn't. It was if either one of if either side of the government was going to be a part of planning a mass pandemic to get rid of one guy, it wouldn't be either one of them. It would be both of them. Like again, this is a government who is interested in money. Yeah. Period. Capitalism is king in this country. Yeah. Donald Trump was fucking up the bag. Yeah, but he was fucking up the bag for other people. For them. Yeah. He was fucking up their bag. Yeah, because if we're because I'm not one of these people that thinks that like I obviously don't support Trump and it's more of a moral obligation. Mm-hmm. Financially, our economy was doing great. Yeah. I felt like a lot of people were making money and thriving in the economy. Money wise. So. But where does that say for people who actually control the money and they're not reaping the benefits of that? You know what I'm saying? So I want to before we get to your segment, I want to read to you an actual post from somebody, and I'm suspended on Facebook for 2 more days. It's been a long 30 days, but I promise you, when I get to this post, I'm gonna tear this girl up. I have 24 days left. Here we go. Biden's first 48 hours, and this is a real post. This is what I'm talking about. Blurry memes, and yes, this meme is blurry. Baghdad terrorist attack. Ready to deploy soldiers to Middle East. And quotes. Wars. Rejoins the Paris Accord. USA pays the highest fees. Rejoins who? World Health Organization, which failed to warn us on pandemic. Hold on. Rejoins the TPP. Massive job loss to China. This is where it gets really great. Like, I mean, just so informative and important that, I feel smarter already. Yeah, like, men with wigs can enter girls' restrooms. Men with wigs can compete in women's sports. This is Joe Biden's going to do this is first 48 hours, boy. 2 days. Boy, yo, he's been busy. He's not even going to wait. Okay. Oh, my God. We will be charged a hefty fine for not having health insurance. Obamacare. Okay. Health insurance. Obamacare revokes Keystone Pipeline. 57,000 go jobless. That one actually is happening, but I'll get to that in a second. Jobless. Corporate taxes jump from 21% to 28%. Income tax and payroll taxes from 37% to 52%. Small business taxes 29 to 39%. Capital gains and dividends from taxes 23 to 43%. Brace yourselves for what's coming. Exclamation point. Exclamation point. I bet her profile picture got a filter on it, don't it? Oh, no. It's worse than that. One of them flower ones with the America the Free around the border or some shit. And this is honestly, you would think that this is a black female. Man, I don't accept that. And it is, and that plays no part in why I just answered your question in particular. This is dangerous, man. Yeah, this people will look at that and really be like, yeah. There is 5 comments, all of them, 17 shares. All of these are in agreement. Let's just say on average they have 1,000 followers, which is semi-low for Facebook nowadays. For how long it's been around. You were spreading this around to 17,000 people. Right. Not only is it inaccurate,
it's misleading on purpose.
It's intentionally
misleading. The ones that get me, for example, Obamacare. I don't think Obamacare was successful. To me, it helped a lot of people though.
Yeah.
Biden directly addressed this and said there will be a new healthcare plan. Let's throw that one out the window. Men with wigs can enter girls' restrooms. Men with wigs can compete in women's sports. You are directly being transphobic immediately.
Right.
And though you can have your own opinions on transsexuals, you know, and that's fine. Where's the decor, man? Where's the respect? Right. You know, if you're against trans rights, you know, or you're confused about it, are you having conversations with trans people? Or are you trying to figure out at the core what is really going on with people? No, you're not. You're spreading harmful information that may get somebody fucking hurt.
The craziest part is that you said that was a black woman that shared that also.
Yes.
It is incredible to me how disillusioned people can be.
Yes.
I really don't understand how women in general could ever support the U.S. government. I don't give a fuck who the president is.
Yeah.
I like how you could support any establishment that was built by men in general is really weird to me.
Yes.
How you can support a regime of hate is even more crazy to me because bitch, that was you.
Well, I had a conversation, and I won't get into this feminist argument, but why feminism is wrong at its core. When feminism started, it was not about females. It was about white females.
Right.
Black women didn't get and I found this out recently, so I'm quoting somebody else, didn't get the vote till 16 years later.
Yeah.
So are you a feminist, or you just got tired of being in the kitchen and getting your ass beat by your husband?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Let's be honest. If you're racist, just say that. You know what I'm saying? Cause yo, I'm tired of all of these movements being disguised. Even the BLM movement. Not talk about actual Black Lives Matter. Of course they do. Talk about the movement. You go on their page, their website, it's Marxism disguised as, you know, something else. Yeah. It's a bunch of trans right people pushing a different agenda, which is fine. I'm for the right to do what the fuck you want with your body. You know what I'm saying? That's not my business. Yo, what is it though? What is this movement for real? Why do y'all have millions upon millions of dollars donated to you that's not being allocated to those direct things that you're fighting for? Right. And I want to digress from that because that's not the point of the discussion. World Health Organization rejoins World Health Organization, which failed to warn us on pandemic.
She gotta be
literally a lie.
She gotta be fucking joking.
Literally a lie.
Right.
They warned us before in 2019. The president of the United States of America lied to our faces.
Right.
Hid information from us. And then we were hit by the most deadly pandemic that we've seen in our lifetime.
That's because coronavirus was already here in December and January.
Yeah, I believe I had it in February, if not in the beginning of November.
Right.
So
it was. You remember, and I brought this up. I did not realize that other people hadn't noticed this, but you remember in December 2020 into December 2019.
Yeah.
Into January 2020.
Yeah.
Remember when all those people were dying from vaping?
Yes.
And they were getting their lungs was just stopping. It was just all the symptoms from those people were coronavirus symptoms. This was December, January, and then February came, and we found out that coronavirus had hit America.
Yeah.
March, everything shut down. And in December and January, the World Health Organization and the government in general, Big Pharma and Big Tobacco, ganged up together and beat the living shit out of the vaping industry. And you want to talk about people losing their jobs and losing their business and how coronavirus has affected everybody?
Yeah.
Nobody gives a fuck about the vaping community.
Yeah.
There are people really out here who lost entire vaping companies because regulations were put in place to eliminate flavored e-juices.
Yeah.
They made online ordering way more difficult.
Yeah.
So now people got to go through it. Like, they literally have shut people's entire streams of income down. No one's apologized.
No, there's been no retractions at all.
No retractions. The World Health Organization, Big Pharma, tobacco, nor the government have come back and said, "Oh, by the way, we think that maybe those 2 months we thought vaping was killing people, it was actually coronavirus, and
or
we just didn't know."
Or maybe, or it wasn't just.
It wasn't just vaping.
Yeah,
we completely demonized vaping as the only culprit.
Yeah.
As if people who had been, even though vaping had been around for decades.
Yeah, people have been vaping weed and all types of things.
All of a sudden, for 2 months straight,
vaping
was just instantly killing people.
Yeah, that is, for as a businessman, if I'm tobacco, I see why that benefits me.
It benefits tobacco, of course, but tobacco is also the same people that makes those truth advertisements. Like, we can't trust none of these motherfuckers, bro. Like, they're the same people that put the truth commercials in front of us.
Are you serious?
They have to.
I did not know that.
Yeah, in order for tobacco to operate in this country freely without being shut down completely, they have to do certain shit.
Okay.
They have to put a Surgeon General warning on the side of their shit.
Yeah.
Of course they don't. If a cigarette company could never tell you that cigarettes cause cancer, they wouldn't.
Oh yeah, I mean that's apparent because they did it before.
Right. Yeah. There was a time when that was the case.
Yeah, they were like trying to market it to children.
Yeah. They were. Children were smoking.
Yeah.
And it was so bad at one point that doctors were literally saying, real doctors with medical degrees were saying that smoking was actually good for you.
Okay, I'm done.
In moderation. in moderation, of course. But smoking cigarettes was actually beneficial to your health. Who do you think paid for that?
Yeah. No, I agree.
You know what I'm saying? Like, who paid for that advertising?
So, to conclude all of this, we have to, and I do this actively, but we have to, as a community, start calling these people on their shit.
Yeah.
Because it's not helping us. And more so than it's not helping us, it's really hurting us. Like, I know that it could be assumed that that's the same thing, but it's not. Sometimes it doesn't help you, but it doesn't do anything to you.
Right.
It's hurting us. We're in a world where anxiety is at an all-time high. I didn't even know what fucking anxiety was growing up. Now all of a sudden everybody has it, and I understand why.
Yeah.
Depression's at an all-time high. Suicide rates, drug overdoses, drug abuse, really high. And when you add fuel to that fire on purpose, and I mean on purpose as in you didn't do your research. Not even if you know it's wrong and you share it, that's just evil.
Right.
On purpose to me is you did not do your due diligence before you went out here and shared this false information with people.
Right.
And I think that people really have to check themselves. Like, yo, I understand you're scared. I'm scared. I think there will be at a point some type of case study or mass collection of whatever to study this time period of like how I felt before I went into Corona, and then afterwards. Because, it's to the point where like, yeah, I have to go outside for some things, but if I don't have to go outside, I'm staying my fucking ass in this house.
Right.
And I'm scared for multiple reasons. I'm not just scared because of just Corona. I'm scared because, not you, but you don't take it serious enough.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm scared because the government has not still figured out a way for us to be safe in these times.
I don't think they know how.
I mean, I understand.
That's the scariest part.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I'm not blaming them. I'm not blaming nobody for not understanding how to maneuver in this situation. Right. It's unprecedented in our time, and it's airborne. Mm-hmm. So it's not just we fucking I get a STD type of thing. It's like, no, man, you might even be more than 6 feet away from me, and you sneeze, and that somehow I inhale that, or I touch something and touch my nose. This is the biggest fear when it comes to diseases.
And that's the big thing, man. It's like, it's the not knowing part that's the scariest part, and it's the fact that the people that we employ to know things don't know either. And it's like we all in the same boat. Yeah. And I don't know if people realize that or not. Yeah. But like, yo, those people in the government are no different than you and me. They also have never seen this before. Yeah. They're just in a position where they have to do something about it, but they don't know any more than you. They're just getting information as it comes. Yeah. And as it comes, because a lot of people,
the CDC changed this
right,
or changed that.
A lot of
like,
people at the very beginning were like anti-mask because like, oh well, they keep changing the story. Like they don't fucking know the story.
Don't you want that though?
Yeah.
Don't you want them to update us as they go? Like, yo, yesterday it didn't have this. Well, guess what? That means they fucking did their job and learned something, and then changed the protocol based it on that. Like,
they adjusted based on what they found out. These are people who also don't know what's going on. So as they get information,
that's like you being in a maze, right?
Yeah.
And as you go, you don't adjust to like, okay, well there was a wall there, so I can't go back there.
But you want to keep walking.
But you want to keep going back down that direction.
That's the craziest shit to me. Like yeah, of course they changed it. They're changing constantly because they don't really know.
Yeah.
Like for right now, for a few months they were saying, the coronavirus can't live on a surface for a long period of time, like a plastic surface. So like you're safe to pick up your groceries.
Yeah.
It's not gonna stay on there. And
then it was like 14 days.
Yeah.
And then it was 6. Good. I'm glad that you're learning that what it really takes, because if I did grab it within a certain amount of time or I didn't disinfect it first, I want to know that. Yeah.
Congratulations on doing your job that you were hired for. You know what I'm saying? Like that's, God forbid the government do something besides conspire against us and try to kill everyone. Then they do the job that they were hired to do.
Oh God, yes, man.
Imagine that.
Yeah, imagine that.
And the same people who are saying the government's after me are like also mad because the government's doing what they're supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
Like,
oh my God.
Like which one is it? But you gotta pick a struggle.
You gotta pick a side. Yeah. All right, man. Like we said, we're not here for a long time, just here for a good time. Before we head out, I want to give shout outs. Every Sunday, 8 p.m., we're on Clubhouse to discuss Virginia hip hop. We have different topics every week that we cover with different specialists. We've had people like Knots Raw, Bink, Mike Street, among other great Virginia hip hop legends. So we have that every Sunday at 8 p.m. Make sure you tune in. It's free to come in, and you can ask questions, be part of the discussion. Ask questions specific to what you're working on, and there's a lot of tangible information that artists can take with them. Our music blog, The Music Shop, also drops next month. Make sure you check that out. Bunch of new music coming, bunch of new content coming. You know what I'm saying? So OG Design, Hooligan Life Records, and this is Hooligan TV. I'm OG Illa.
And I'm the youth.
We out.